Hello viewers and welcome to Atn Politics on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. Atn Politics is the network's flagship program that discusses core political trends with relevant political stakeholders. And today on Atn Politics we will be discussing on very core issues from different political landscapes, such as in Abia State, outrage follows Carlo's comment on OT. In Edo Guba's Oshomole bemoans access denial to campaign premises. On local government autonomy, governors devise ways to ensure
a very family,
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond mountains, from the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family,
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
My pleasure to have you back on ATN Politics right here in Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. And I am your host, Raymond Ken Mbata, and without any delay, I'll introduce our guest, Andy, a political analyst and a political juggernaut of repute. It's a pleasure having you back here, sir.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And Vincent Ogenekere Okoro, a politician of Nigeria, is concerned. It's a pleasure having you back here, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm agreed to my fellow Nigerians.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. All right, without taking any much of your time, we'll dive into the first issue for discussion. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Carlo, has sparked outrage in his home state of Abia following his declaration that Alex Oti would be unseated in 2027 by whatever means. Carlo, in a video footage of his media interview, had declared that Oti would be the last Labour Party governor in Abia. He boasted that as Nigeria's number 6 citizen, he would not sit by and allow an opposition party to control Abia. The Deputy Speaker further stated that Abia must be taken over by his own party, the APC, though he confessed that I do not know how it will happen. But while his comments have set off the alarm bell in Abia, a fellow member of the House of Representatives from Abia, Honorable Obi Agwocha, has fired a salvo at Carlo, saying that his comments smacked of ignorance, of arrogance and power drunkenness. Agwocha, who represents Ikwano, Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal Constituency, in a statement on Monday told the Deputy House Speaker to perish the thoughts of unseating OT come 2027. As a federal lawmaker on Labour Party platform, Agwacha said that he was shocked by Kanu's open declaration of Abia State becoming an APC state in 2027, upbraiding him for displaying indiscretion in his quest for national political relevance. All right, I'll start with you, Mr. Vincent. Concerning the outburst or the statement that generated an outrage and a backlash by Benjamin Carlo, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, concerning the seat, the governorship seat of Abia State, and that he wishes to upturn the Labour Party ticket there to be an APC occupant come 2027. And he received a backlash from a Labour Party House of Reps member also, insisting that there was no vacancy in Abia State Government House. And
come 2027.
I want to understand
States or the Southeast landscape in Nigeria is the most democratic, as far as democracy coming to stay in Nigeria is concerned. Like I always repeat once more that that is across the Southeast. You see the major political party, the four of them, Labour Party, the APC, PDP, and ABGA, all represented in one state or the other across the landscape of the Southeast. Now, we are talking about the fortunes of Labour Party, going into the future, especially as concerns the 2027 elections.
exactly.
Now, today, by, let me say, fortune smile on them, they were able to reclaim Abia State from the People's Democratic Party. And in 2027, but the question is, the other political parties, especially the PDP that state was wrestled away from their grip, are they going to lie low and allow Labour Party to play freely? So there's a big question for the Labour Party itself to answer. Okay. Then the APC, we have the person of Ojus Okalo is a senator. Then we have the person that is claiming that is number 6 citizen of the country. We cannot write
claiming to, or he is?
No, he is actually.
Okay.
He is actually.
Okay.
Why I say claiming to is because of the general failure of leadership. Because instead of him to be bickering about 2027 as it were, he should be talking about, his call to duty. Why his people, per se, sent him to represent them at the federal level, and not to be talking about how the APC will take over leadership of that state from how Alessandro will not return as the governor.
And having a biased House of Assembly, is Labour Party the political Jerusalem for Abia State, or can they be upturned? Can they be thwarted? Can they be overridden in Abia State?
Okay, so first off, we are operating under certain kinds of assumptions.
Okay.
First off, we are assuming that elections actually take place in Nigeria. We are assuming that it is the wishes of the people that reflects in who becomes a governor, a senator, House of Representative member, or, if you may,
Chairman,
local government chairman, the president of the country. That assumption is indeed very erroneous, because by my reckoning, the wishes of the people is not what throws people into position of authority in our country, but an aggregation of what the system, what the is even flying the flag of APC. He has not been speaking.
It's not known.
He has not been speaking. He has not been addressing anything. And Dr. Shomole has been speaking and saying everything about him. The system of APC has been giving him favor and firing him on to the extent that he could swear that once the election took place, this is what is the truth across the political. I'm going there.
All right.
If you would notice the undercurrents in what this man is saying, he's simply saying, Oti, if you do not port from Labour Party to APC, the establishment will come strong against you. And even if the people intend that you become, the establishment will thwart it. In Lagos State, that will not permit you, whether you went to Harvard and you have the magic wand to be able to translate, Lagos State from what it is to, the whole destination. It didn't matter so long as you were not a part of their entrenched system. You will not be able to imagine. This is what is reflective across the political landscape ever, including in my state, Delta State. If the person who ran as the gubernatorial candidate of APC had been in PDP, the system, the entrenched system that ensures that only those who say yes sir to the authorities and to the establishment emerge, that system would have made it emerge. So what is happening to was put there by known players, the likes of the Bola Ige. The same manifesto, the same political structure that you have with PDP, you have with the then AD. It has translated to APC. You find that there are sediments that you found in PDP inside APC. Otherwise, why do you have political party that you cannot clearly say that these are the askings, these are the manifestos, these are the priorities of this party? Like you would see everywhere else in the world, you knew what the conservatives stood for. You knew what the Labour Party stood for. You knew what Democrats stood for. You knew what Republicans stood for. What do they stand for? What APC, for instance, what do you know that they stand for? You will see that APC is pursuing free education, PDP is pursuing free education. You will see that APC is pursuing giving food, distributing palliative to people. PDP in River State is calling empowerment, delivering keke, delivering vehicles. They are doing one and the same. Nothing insults the intelligence of those who know. Nothing is more nauseous than that. Of recent, I was even saying that. I saying they are doing empowerment. We are still groping in the dark. As far as
Mr. Vincent, concerning those state gubernatorial elections coming, campaigns are top-notch. Campaigns are on top gear. And right now, the governor exercising his rights maybe to protect public property, maybe in order to safeguard the facilities of the state, has decided that some premises that could be used for campaigns should not be used at this period. I think we've had some cases like that, even in our dear River State, at some point in time. But Oshomole is piping hot concerning the fact that he feels that...
I don't want to start analyzing the character of our politicians whenever it comes to an election like this. Unfortunately, I will not be able to answer completely the rightness or the wrongness of Obaseki without touching on the character of our politicians. Now, first and foremost, Oshomole did not tell us if there was a time the executive council or the governor himself have come to say no political rally should hold in any of the public schools across the landscape of those states. Then, secondly, I don't know if Adams Oshomole was standing on one of the roads he constructed for the people of Edo State while he was making a rally, shut down the premises. So that if they must hold rally, then they should go and stand on one of the roads constructed by Oshomole during his time. I also heard in the media where the Oshomole was saying that if they close down the school, he is going to close down the road. What are we talking about? So you want to perpetrate anarchy in the state. You want the state to become theater of war because of election. So then Obaseki himself should be more concerned with what his administration, via the PDP, has done for the past 4 years now. I'm very, very concerned, all the promises that were made for the people of Edo State, or let me say the expected consolidation on the little Obaseki did in that state in the first tenure. What we are hearing is infighting within his own house and outside. for the past 4 years. So these politicians should allow the people of Edo State to breathe.
Okay.
Just the same way we are asking for the federal government of Nigeria to allow the people of Nigeria to have fresh air.
Okay. All right. Mr. Motive, I'll let you roll on
okay,
that.
So
still on the same question.
If we did not know now that the politicians in Nigeria are all, reading the same Bible, then we are also politically naive. There's a book, an operation manual, that they hand one to another, it's your turn, right? You are the one who is going to be contesting an election like this, how to do it. From Lagos State to Ekiti State to Rivers State to Edo State. The same political template. I was in Lagos when certain political parties couldn't put their posters on the 3rd Mainland Bridge. I was in Lagos when there were certain places you couldn't advertise if you were not APC. Right? In Rivers State, we saw how that there were decrees upon decrees, executive orders upon executive orders, communication, internal memos upon internal memos flying, preventing people from doing certain things. So, because this is the political template that they all play by, if you wanted to write this, you must call the third arbiter into the playground. Why is it that the judges have not spoken to these issues? Why is that they have not been firm as to addressing these issues? Nigerians are just here. Oshomole, in the first instance, let me even backtrack. What is Oshomole in the campaign, of this man? What is he? Is he the campaign coordinator? Is he the campaign director? Is he the godfather? What exactly is Oshomole in the first instance?
He's an APC member.
And why is he saying the schools that he built? Did he build those schools with his money?
It's to the credit of his administration.
But he did not build those schools with his money. The schools were built with taxpayers' money, with money that he got from when they went to carry their cap to collect money from Abuja. All those monies were part of what he used to build the school. So he cannot be sitting and saying, even the school that I built. Because this is something that affects me as an individual. How I saw a local government chairman, CTC chairman yesterday in Rivers State. He held his stick and he was addressing the people. He said, I'm going to build a 12 block of classroom for you people here. And it's not that I don't want to build it. The money is already here. I already have the money to do it. But I want to say something. Yeah, Wale, I want to say something. If they start building this place and your people are not carrying food there, your people are going to cause problem, I will withdraw them and I'll take my money back and put it somewhere else. I cringed.
He used to do empowerment.
Yes, I cringed. Because I don't know how that is your money. I don't know how you are speaking in first person tense as someone who is administering the wealth of the people on behalf of the people.
Is Godwin Obaseki wrong in trying to protect?
I'm going there.
Public,
if Godwin Obaseki had said that and it affects everybody on the political landscape,
okay,
APC, PDP, ABGA and all that, with reason for that, then you will see justification. Because in any case, when people do these rallies, what happens? They call street urchins, call all sorts. People break and destroy certain things and they walk away from there. And nobody replaces those things. It would therefore be the responsibility of the government to go back and fix those things. If it was that he had said, hey, nobody should go and campaign, in any of our secondary schools or primary schools. Nobody, including my political party. These are the places that I have set aside that everyone can go and campaign. And if you wanted to campaign there, you came to us and you applied properly for us to give you authorization. If he had said that, it would have made some sense. It would have sounded, sensible and plausible. But if he said that only APC couldn't do that, then that would be terrible. And that would be terrible in the minds of the people who are all right politically in Nigeria. But in the minds of the people who are politicians, they will not consider that as a terrible act because that is the template all of them operate with. Did you not see what happened in Rivers State recently? There was one town crier that came to my community to say, come listen to me, all of you.
tanker. I'm not telling you what I was told. They dispatched tanker that came to announce who you must vote for. They spoke about places you must not go and campaign. If you went there to campaign, their structure came at you. Destroyed certain things. The court did not do anything. The presidency did not do anything. Because we have allowed perfidy. We have allowed evil to thrive in our land. Evil has now taken root. Evil has now become the new norm, the new normal. Evil is now dancing on the street. Evil now feels so palpable to people because we have permitted it. Where you permit these things to thrive, what will happen is that they will thrive, they will fester, and they will become the new norm. Until such a time when leadership can understand that if it was happening in Edo State, even though I'm not from Edo State, if it was happening in Delta State, even though I'm not from Delta State, it is an anathema. It is something that we must frown at. It is something that we must deal with. Until leadership understands that and raising the authority and the establishment to ensuring that that is done, you will keep talking, we will keep, speaking English, on platforms like this. Nothing will change.
Mr. Vincent, do you think that political parties ought to build their own campaign centers by now and leave public property? Because political parties are rich. Political parties are well off financially. Do you think that in order to let go of public properties for campaigns, that each political party that has national favor should have its own campaign centers?
I will just answer briefly. Yes.
Yeah, very brief.
If where things are done normally, when things are properly done, where laws are obeyed, there's no need for political parties, no matter how rich they are, for them to consider building their own centers, for political rallies. But the way politics is run in Nigeria, maybe some political party may have to decide, especially if you are in the opposition, may have to decide that that is the way forward for them. Okay. Because they will keep us in a situation where, the effort of certain political parties, despite the fact that we know that, they are not reading with purpose. Their effort to reach the people, continue to be thwarted by those in power or by the established system, okay, which our brother, have been mentioning, from the judiciary to the people in the street, to the police, to the army, just mention it.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. The next story says it is not yet Uhuru for Nigeria's 774 local government areas. Though state governors hailed the Supreme Court's July 11th historic ruling that freed the local governments from the financial control of state governors by conferring financial autonomy on them, which means that direct federal allocation is going to them. The press has learned that the state's chief executives are not yet ready to give up their grips on the funds of their various states council areas. There are indications that the governors now clandestinely devise various mechanisms to ensure continued access to the allocations accruing to the councils. For example, press has been informed that in a number of states in the southern part of the country where local government elections have been scheduled to hold, the governors have anointed persons who they believe can easily allow them a free rein on their allocations as the next chairman of such councils. I'll stop there. Mr. Potivé, sir. Yeah, we are seeing, the Supreme Court making a chess play, and there is also a move set aside by the governors, and even a counter move set aside by the federal government. Are we trying to say that the local governments should not be free? Is there any plans of stunting the autonomy given to the local government areas? And is there anything that could be done to deliver them from such bondage that they are about to enter into, sir?
It beats me hollow when I hear those who are considered even political juggernauts say that by the ruling of the Supreme Court, the local government areas or local government authorities have become autonomous. It beats me hollow. In the first instance, the government at the center is not doing federation with local government. The government are the federating unit in Nigeria are the 36 states, not the 774 local governments. It is idiotic, most idiotic, to think that that judgment alone confers autonomy on local government.
Why doesn't it?
When the constitution is clear,
okay,
you have not gone to the constitution to address the issues in the constitution. The constitution has spoken to how money should be paid. That was not repealed. That you were going to have a jack. Money was going to be paid into it. And the state authority that is resident in the governor would administer that. That's the first instance. The constitution did not also, by its judgment, state how you are going to conduct elections into those local governments. In any case, even if they did, the protocols that will allow people emerge from the political parties, have they addressed those protocols? It is from the ward levels that certain people will sit. And when they are going to have the direct primaries or indirect primaries, the governor will still have influences and determine who becomes. Because you know that the governor will have influences, you understand that the governor in some ways is going to be the one who will determine whether you emerge from that process or not. Even when you become, even when the federal government brings your money into your bedroom, we have seen local government chairmen who will take those monies and say, go and give it to the governor and say, Mr. Governor, how am I going to administer these monies? You see, we try to play the ostrich in our country. We want to fix certain things and we spoil it the more. Because if you looked inward, you found that indeed, in order for us to ensure autonomy, certain things needed to be done to adjust the constitution, to adjust how people emerge. If you did not adjust that, I even said on my Facebook post that I am seeing a time when the Supreme Court will reverse itself like they did with Amichi's judgment. They will sit down and say, because we have not even done what the askings of the constitution says regarding how we can give autonomy to these people, and we have said this, we have created a quagmire. We have created some cobwebs, some political cobwebs for people not to be able to navigate through. What is going to happen in the coming months? We shock even the Supreme Court and shock the president. What they intended to do, let me tell you before we even go on with this conversation. Nigeria is heading towards a one-party state, where one man sits down and is able to control the entirety of Nigeria. In that, they are trying to introduce now an agency that will be responsible for conducting local government election. That agency will be peopled by those who are in INEC. Go to Edo State now. I throw this challenge to all of you listening to me. Go and inspect, investigate those people who are in the board, the INEC board, that are going to be a part of those who will conduct the election. Go and investigate all their names. I leave that to you Nigerians. As I sit here, I have my own intel and my own information. It will shock you that there are PDP members that are there. It will shock you that there are APC members that are there. I have my own intels, and because I'm on air, I will not call the names of some of them that I'm aware are there. These people, we see people, this institution you want to create in states, and they will only try to go and do what the president has instructed them to do. So that what then happens is you find a president who has authority across states and across local governments, because he has used his machinery, he has used his institution, he has used the state hegemony, quote and unquote, to ensure that people became whatever from local government to state. What they are doing is to water down the powers of the state governors, so that even if they brought those people,
they ensure that their people that they selected did not emerge, because the person who is going to head the SEC, so if you assume that it was SEC, is no longer going to be answerable to them. They are not going to be the ones who will nominate who becomes the chairman of SEC, but the same federal government is still nominating who becomes the head of INEC. Are you not seeing the contradictions? So I am not moved to think that there is any autonomy going to local government. All of this abracadabra, political abracadabra, is what, by my reckoning, is targeted at moving Nigeria to a one-party state by 2027.
Mr. Vincent, do you think the governors are scared of their positions because of the rise of the profile of the local government chairman concerning this local government autonomy? And everything goes, everything is fair in they trying to reinstate their relevance in the political sphere of Nigeria?
Okay, I would like to start from that word, Uhuru, that I saw in the opening statement. Then if it is Uhuru, you know, you say it's not yet Uhuru.
Yeah.
So if it is yet Uhuru, then what happens? That's exactly what our comrade and the Akotive is trying to analyze to us. That, you know, it's not by all this jamboree that they are feeding us with. You know, you just go to the bakery, you bring out and half-baked bread and serve to the people. You know, if you want to do something, you do it so that if we are applauding you, we applaud you very well. Now, you are talking about local government autonomy. What is the system, what is the structure in place to ensure that that local government autonomy we are talking about, you know, come to light? Then if we are talking about whatever, as it were, is being done or said about governance, it's about the people. So whatever they have done now, in the name of local government autonomy, how does that benefit the people? How does that, you know, reinforce the aspiration of the people? We have the people at the grassroots who want to feel the impact of the government. I have been in a community for the past 15 years in River State here. If you look at my trousers very well, you will see dots. It's dotted all over with sand and what have you. You know, I cannot comfortably dress and come out from my house. In fact, today as I was coming out, I wanted to put a different shirt, a colored shirt on top of what I'm putting on right now, because of the nature of the road. Then those who have, who I would say are shallow-minded as far as the reality of our country is concerned, wants to say that in quotes it's Uhuru now, that it is time for local government to move forward across the country.
Are local governments mature enough to stay on their own?
It's about the people. That is, whatever, government at whatever level, as far as Vincent is concerned, it's about the people. Then if the people, in conjunction with the government, have not come together to create the structure that will enable them to exhibit that maturity you are talking about, then we are going nowhere.
Okay.
So today as it is, if you ask me, there is nothing like local government autonomy. That thing is something that the Supreme Court just put on the pages of newspaper for the people of Nigeria to read and get excited, nothing more.
Okay.
And they have just analyzed to us, you know, what is happening or what is going to happen and what has been happening as far as the relationship between the governors and the so-called local government chairman is concerned, how they emerge, how they disburse money, how they use the money, how they have to take permission from their superior, and what have you. The local government chairman, as it were, you know, you have a period of 8 years. After them, what next? These are career politicians who, as they become, as soon as they are stepping into an office today, they are thinking of the next one. So, if you are not loyal, you are not going to be an House of Representative member tomorrow. You will not be a senator. You will not, for instance, there are some local government chairman in the landscape of River State. If you see their body language, they want to overthrow the governor. So if they were not loyal to somebody that kept them there, how would they have the shoulder to stand side by side with the governor of the state, you know, and make certain noise?
Okay.
Then the same thing applies to the president, because we know, I have said it on this show, that we have governors in this country, that some of them are even more powerful than the presidents. I was having a chat in a forum yesterday, and somebody was saying that a governor in this country delivered 14 states for Tinubu as it were today. Can you imagine that? Now, you don't tell me that the president is not, it does not have the feeling, you know, of the influence of these governors. So what is the arrangement? You have to make a plan B. If I allow these people 2027, it may not be easy for me. And then, you know, local government autonomy, Uhuru. Please, may they allow us breathe.
Sandy.
Yes, please.
Your closing remarks concerning this topic, sir.
Yes.
The way forward.
Yes. We as Nigerians, we must be ready to take the bull by the horn, as it were. All these tokenistic approaches to fixing the challenges of our country will not do any good to us. And you have these tokenistic approaches because the people are not aware. The people are not ready to challenge the system.
Are the people that are they that impotent?
Yes, the people have been impoverished. They have been rendered, you know, like toothless bulldogs by leadership, for the intent that leadership understood that because the people are hungry now, if we feed them and ensure that we give them a way to continuously feed themselves, they will not need us eventually. So let's feed them and not give them the protocol on how to feed themselves, so that when we are coming back to them again, they will have need for us. Now, these people also, where I fault them is that they are unable to even engage to say, okay, you have fed us now. We need a protocol on how we can stay fed consistently. They are not engaging. They are looking for the one-offs. So that's why government keeps giving us tokenistic solutions, either through the Supreme Court, through the House of Assembly, or even through ministries, departments, and agencies, until such a time when you and I, Nigerians, we come together and begin to give the pressure that is necessary to these people in authority. Because in the first instance, leadership is responsibility. Leadership is like you separating yourself and saying that you want to become a priest. There are certain askings that you must conform with and conform to as a priest. If you did not believe that you could submit to those askings, you didn't become a priest. You shouldn't become a priest. Today in our society, there are people who want to become leaders that do not even understand the concept of leadership. Leadership as servanthood. Leadership as servitude. Leadership as using yourself to clear the path for other people to see the light. Leadership as being the forerunner for people. They don't see that. So they emerge and all they see is self. All they do is self. Until the people get challenged enough to trouble these kinds of leadership out of there, ensuring that only those who understand it, that leadership is a call, become. All of these tokenistic things, we will keep dancing in them, and Nigeria is not about to change.
Whoa. We hope that the leaders are listening. We hope that the stakeholders of our political sphere are listening, because our guests today have propounded and postulated on what they believe could be a game changer in our political practices in our dear country, Nigeria. I want to thank our guest, Mr. Vincent Ogenekewe Okoro, for making it here and for your input.
Thank you for having me.
It matters a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
And Mr. Atn Politics, I know you're not man of titles, you don't like titles, but we have to look for one for you. Prophet Atn Politics.
Thank you. I'm profoundly grateful for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Atn Politics we just do. No title.
I know we'll get to that point. I know we'll come back there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, guests all over the world watching us, this is where we wrap it up. From your host, Raymond Ken Mbata, I say stay connected on our ATN socials, Facebook,